Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we're just gonna chit chat, hang out, play with a ton of new makeup. I'm testing and playing with so much new makeup and I'm really excited about it. I got my tea here, I'm drinking. By the way, my favorite tea of the moment is the Yogi brand. It's the Peach Positive Energy, I think is the name of it. It's so good. I don't even have to add sweetener. And it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. And I think it's low caffeine, maybe not. Anyway, let's get started. Everything I'm gonna be sharing today is from the brand Lune Aster. Now, you might not have heard of Lune Aster, maybe you have. They are an exclusive in-house brand to Bluemercury. Bluemercury is a beautiful makeup and beauty, skin, hair boutique. They just opened a few stores. It's been a few years actually here in Austin, but I was so excited when they came to Austin because I first discovered Bluemercury when I was in New York City, maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And I had never heard about it, and I remember there was one next to our hotel and I was just walking around and I walk into this nirvana of makeup. I mean, it was just like I walk in and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this place? Because I'd never heard about it before. And if you've been into a Bluemercury store, you understand what I'm saying because it's such a beautifully well thought out, laid out store. It's very boutique-ish. They have a lot of specialty brands and lines, and then they also of course have brands like Bobbi Brown and Hourglass and NARS and all the brands that you already know and love, but they also have a lot of really special items in there. So when they came to Austin a few years ago, I was like, hey, there's one close to my house. I've worked with them in the past here on my channel, and I do want to thank them for teaming up with me on this video. So you guys have probably heard me mention them. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Enough of the chit chat. I'm going to be using Lune Aster products, which is the exclusive in-house brand to Bluemercury. So Bluemercury is the only place that you can find this brand. And I've got lots of goodies here, you guys. I went in yesterday and I got a lot of goodies here. I also got this really awesome set that comes with a lot of goodies in here. So we're just going to do a full face, see what we have, talk. Some of these products I've already used and love and can speak to, and then some of them we're gonna experience together. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get this hair back. I don't have a hair tie today, but my hair is somewhat dirty, which means it will cooperate with me a little bit. Okay, so the first product I'm super excited to try. This is the Cover Correct Tinted Moisturizer SPF of 50. This is a CC cream. I'm really excited about this. I actually haven't tried a Lune Aster foundation or complexion product. I've used some of their powders and I love them, but I'm excited to give this a try. And we did do a match in store. The manager at the store in the Arboretum here in Austin helped me and she was fantastic. This is the shade Medium 2. So whenever I'm testing a new product, I like to kind of got to determine what the best application for me is. Now, this is what the product looks like. So you can see it's got a nice consistency and viscosity to it. It's slowly sliding down my hand, which tells you a few things. It tells you that it's not a really thick consistency, but the fact that it's not sliding down the hand really quick tells you it's not a really watery consistency. So I just applied the first product and I cannot believe I didn't share this in my intro. I can't believe I got through one product before realizing that I needed to share this with you. Lune Aster is 40% off online at bluemercury.com right now. 40% off. That is like the deepest discount you will find online. It's through LTK. So everything that I'm sharing today, you can get online for 40% off now through September 12th. I can't believe that, like 40% off. That's huge. In addition to that, they have 2 gift with purchase promos. When you spend $75 or more on Lune Aster, you get their Dusk Till Dawn Copper Eyeliner. I'll be using this today so you can see what this looks like. It's a really beautiful gel eyeliner and a really beautiful neutral copper shade. If you spend $125 or more, you get their Real Glow Primer. So lots of great deals in addition to the 40% off, those 2 gift with purchase options. Okay, let's resume with the makeup. I'm gonna actually take my finger. This feels like it's not gonna dry down really quickly. It almost feels and looks like a skincare product. So I think I'm gonna have time to blend this out. So therefore, I'm gonna go and just kind of spread it with my finger. I have a little redness in the skin today. Maybe that's the tea. I'm gonna go in with my brush and I'm just gonna kind of press it onto the skin and then kind of sweep. Yeah, this is a good shade. I applied this yesterday or the other day when I went in and I had a little bit of makeup on and it looked like the perfect match. When I apply it on my bare skin on my face, it looks a little darker, which just tells me that my face is so much lighter than the rest of my body. So the coverage on this is pretty nice and light. Definitely has a glow. Like the skin is really glowy and radiant. It looks like I just applied a moisturizer. You have some coverage, but it's definitely not a full coverage foundation by any means, but it does a good job of evening out. I'm gonna go ahead and try to apply it on the other side with my fingers. I rarely use my fingers to apply foundations or makeup products, but sometimes there are products that are just really good applied with your fingers. And I think this might be one of them. Now your fingers are gonna shear it out a little bit, so I feel like I have a little more coverage on this side than I do on this side. That's not to say that I can't go and add more with my fingers, but the fingers are going to shear it out. And really it's because we're spreading with the fingers. You see how we're spreading, where with the brush, we're really kind of pressing and building coverage. So neither way is better or worse. It's really just what do you like? What works best for you? This has a really nice consistency. It feels very, very much like skincare. I almost think that that you could actually wear this underneath the foundation if you want to take a little bit of your normal foundation and maybe mix it in with this, or just do a very light layer of your normal foundation. If you do pair it up with a normal foundation after, I would really scale back how much of your normal foundation you use, because this does do a pretty decent job of giving some coverage. Now that I got my fingers, I have to go back in with a brush. You guys know I'm a brush girl, like quite literally. So I'm just gonna go in and kind of press it all over. Then I'm gonna take a little bit left of what's on my hand. I actually got more out than I need, and I'm just gonna go in and build a little more coverage, particularly on this side. Okay, so one product I didn't pick up yesterday from Lune Aster was concealer. So we're gonna go in with my little NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer real quickly, just to conceal and brighten the eyes. So as far as the CC cream, it's really beautiful, very glowy, but not shiny, and a very natural coverage. I would probably find myself using this more day to day and adding a little bit of a foundation in with it. I'm just gonna go in and blend this concealer out real quick. So we've got all of that blended in. So we have really nice skin and complexion. We've got full coverage and brightness under the eyes. We've got a really natural coverage with a bit of a glow on the skin. I do wanna set everything because I kind of wanna slightly mattify the skin. And I'm gonna use this product. I actually purchased this last year. This is the Lune Aster Translucent Powder. And I purchased this as a great touch-up powder. It already has the brush, so you can just throw it in your bag just like this. And I just have the translucent shade. And I'm just gonna softly sweep this underneath the eye. And I remember when I purchased this last year, the associate there helped me because I was like, I want a powder that is light, that I can touch up several times throughout the day without it feeling heavy or too matte, without it altering the finish of my foundation. And he recommended this, and it's really nice. And I have to say, of all the types of products like this where there's a brush built inside, this one's really nice. I think this type of component is tricky to do because I've seen a lot of brands do it, and it's like not enough powder comes out or too much powder comes out, and this one's really done. And this powder is really sheer. I'm gonna actually put it underneath the eyes. As I'm testing and using these products, I'm gonna put aside the ones that just really stand out and love, and then at the end of the video, we will do a recap, okay? Next, let's go ahead and go in with brows. I wanna share this little product because it's actually a bunch of products in one. So I picked up the Lucky No. 7 limited edition lip and eye makeup set. It came in this box, and when I opened it, I got this really beautiful blue velvet pouch. You can just tie it like this. Isn't that cute? And let's show you what I have inside of it. A lot of goodies, and some of these I'll use. I might not get to all of them, but you do get a set of lashes in here. You get a swipe and go eyeshadow palette, Celestial Nudes. I might use this. I actually got another eyeshadow palette. Ooh, that's pretty. So you get this little eye palette here. You get 8 shades, mix of mattes and shimmers in there. You also get the primer, Swipe and Go Lash Primer, which I will be using, so we're gonna put that aside. You get a tinted lip balm. Let's go ahead and put this on the lips now because I have a clear lip balm on now. This is the shade Girls Helping Girls. I like that. Nice and sheer. Feels really nice on the lips. It actually kind of reminds me of the Kira Weiss lip balms. You also get a Lune Aster brow pencil, which we're going to be using next. You also get Pore Perfect Primer. Oops, I should have used this first. You get a little mini primer here. Then you also get the Real Glow Eyelid Primer. We will use this next when we get to eyeshadow. Just put a little eye primer on. Kind of reminds me of the Trish McEvoy one. Then you also get a lengthening mascara. I'm not sure if I'll use this one or the Cosmic Mascara, because the Cosmic Mascara is one that I wanted to share with you guys. I've been using this for a couple years, but you do get a full-size mascara in that. You get the Dawn to Dusk Gel Eyeliner in black. Get a little mini one here. And then you get a lip gloss in the shade CEO, which is just a pretty kind of like purpley mauve-y shade. Yeah, so those are all the products that come in this set. Let's go ahead and move on to brows. This is the brow pencil, and it just says Universal. Interesting. This is what it looks like. Cute, nice and sleek. And then you have a spoolie on the other side. So let's go in with the spoolie and just kind of comb the brows and fill them in. This is really nice. Good pigment. I'm not having to use a lot of pressure, and I'm getting the product on the eye. This color is not too dark. I was a little concerned when it said Universal. I was like, hey, wait a minute. I want to pick which shade I get, but this is good. This works for my hair, and I'd say, what am I, like a light brown, dark blonde? What would you call my hair color? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to describe yourself. You always see yourself differently than others see you. I would call myself a light brown, but I could see this also working for someone with really dark hair too. This is really nice, you guys. You don't have to put a lot of pressure at all, and you get beautiful payoff. And the tip of it is kind of somewhere in between. It's not a micro fine tip, but it's not like some of the larger ones that you find that have more of a triangular head and then they kind of taper off to more of a point. It's not that large either. It's somewhere in between the two. This is actually really, really good. I'm definitely gonna go buy one of these separately. This is really good, you guys. Next, we're gonna go in and I'm pretty sure, oh, you know what? I was trying to get a bronzer and a blush palette, but I think they were out of the one that I wanted. Let me go grab a few products to kind of warm up the face. I'll be right back. So I just warmed up the face a little bit. I used the Jane Iredale bronzer stick in the shade Sizzle. What do I want to do for eyes? Here's my dilemma. I have two palettes here. I have the Celestial Nudes eyeshadow palette that I shared with you that came in that little set here. That's really pretty. And then I also have this one. This is what Kate recommended to me at the store. This is the Moonrise eyeshadow palette. She says she loves it. This is 5 shades here. I might use a little bit of both. And then I have that eye primer that I want to test, but then I also picked up one of these. This is the Dawn to Dusk cream eyeshadow stick. You know I love my cream shadow sticks. Like, I love them. And this color, this is Sunset Bronze. It's like it was made for me, honestly. But the thing with the cream shadow sticks is I feel like these are great for easy, simple eye looks, one and done, but it wouldn't give me the opportunity to use a whole lot of eyeshadow. I'm gonna play with them all just for the sake of like testing them and kind of giving you my thoughts. Let's go in first with the primer. This is the Real Glow Eyelid Primer. Let's see here. Okay, so it's nice and opaque, which means that, you know, it's not sheer or translucent, but it's not super creamy. It almost has kind of like a velvety texture to it. I'm gonna put a little bit on my eye, just kind of swipe a little bit, and then I'm gonna just blend it in with my finger. I like the shade of it because it has some color to it. It's a skin tone color, a very light skin tone color. So what that's gonna do is it's just gonna cancel out and brighten the eye up a bit, which is gonna do a few things. One, it'll cancel out any darkness you have on the eyelid, but also it will just take any shadow that you put on top of it and really amplify the color of that shadow. So just put that on and I'm gonna blend it out with my finger. It's not like creamy like a concealer or anything. It's like a mousse. All right, you guys, I'm excited to play with some new shadows. I love playing with new shadow. We're gonna go into this first, the Celestial Nudes palette. This is what it looks like. And I'm gonna grab the lightest shade that you have here and we're just gonna kind of dust that underneath the brow, just to kind of brighten a little bit. That eyelid primer already brightened, so really you don't need to use a shadow, but we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna take the next shadow underneath it, which is pretty much the same tone, but it has a little bit of shimmer, and we're gonna dust that on top. Okay, that has really pretty refined shimmer, but it is pretty shimmery. I'm glad I put the matte down first, because putting a matte down first and then putting a shimmer on top will soften that shimmer. So if you're dealing with like a shadow that's real frosty, this one is pretty shimmery, but it's very refined. It's not like a thick frost. But anyway, it's gonna tone down any shimmer or frost, which I personally like more of a toned down subtle highlight underneath the brow. I used to love a real foiled, like, frosty brow when I was in my 20s. I think that was also the style then. I'm gonna go back into the same palette and we're gonna grab this matte shade right here and we're just going to kind of sweep that through the crease. Ooh, okay, that has quite a bit of pigment. I didn't even pick up too much with my brush, so that's nice. Even though it's a lot of pigment, it's blending out pretty well. Sometimes when you're working with shadows that are very pigmented, they can be a little harder to blend out, but this one's blending out pretty nicely. But I think next time I'll go in with a little softer hand because I did grab a little more than I want. This would be a good travel palette because it's small and it really has everything you need. You got your brow highlight shade, you've got your shade for the crease, and then you've got several shades to accentuate. You've got some options here. I'm actually gonna build this up. So this shade actually builds up to be a lot darker than you would think when you look at it. That's what it looks like, but then on the skin it can actually go pretty deep. Next, we're gonna go in and I'm gonna take a smaller little crease brush. Let's go with this shade right here. Just a kind of a deeper brown with some shimmer to it, and we're just gonna pack this just on the outer corner. So just on the outer corner, and then I'm kind of sweeping it to the center of the lid. This is like a really pretty, just kind of classic, warm bronze shade. For the sake of dipping into this other palette, we're gonna go in. I'm gonna grab this shade right here, this real kind of like vibrant copper shade. I'm gonna grab a little bitty eyeshadow brush, and this is gonna give me a lot of control. And we're gonna just kind of place that right on the part of the lid that we don't have shadow on yet. And this actually is less shimmery than I thought it would be by looking in the palette. Kind of gives the texture more of like a sheen. This is a really nice color for blue or green eyes, but of course brown eyes can wear it too. Next, we're gonna go in with liner, and I'm gonna take the Dawn to Dusk Copper Liner. And I've actually used these. I have this in, oh, I forget the name of it, the shade that I have, but I'll list it below. Really lovely formula. I always talk about the Trish McAvoy liners, and this is a really great comparison to that. Just very soft gel liner. It glides on so easily and soft onto the skin. So you have some time to smoke it or smudge it out or correct it if you make any errors. But once it dries, it does set down and stays in place. this. This shade is called Copper, but it's actually deeper than you might think. When I think of copper, I think of kind of more of the shade that I put on my eyelid. This is basically like a nice dark chocolate brown with a little bit of pearl essence to it. So what that does in eyeliner is it reflects light, so it kind of softens the liner a little bit. I really like shimmer eyeliners because they just give a slightly softer look to the eye, which as I get older, it's like I like to wear a lot of makeup still. Makeup is fun. I will always like to wear a lot of makeup. Edges to look a little softer. And I think too, it's just like a personal preference and what you feel best in. But I definitely have been known to follow the makeup trends and make some makeup mistakes, you know, in my 20s. And I guess the mistake for me was always following trends that maybe necessarily didn't translate well for me. But whatever, I had fun at the time, so that's what matters, right? Okay, next I'm gonna go in with a little pencil brush and I'm just gonna kind of softly run it over that. I'm actually gonna go into this palette and grab the darkest shade and we're gonna just kind of soften that line, smoke it out a little. What are some makeup trends or makeup mistakes maybe that you used to do that you look back on now and you're like, oh, how funny, you know? I mean, it's just makeup, right? It's not like you have any regrets. It's just makeup. It's supposed to be fun. But I remember how old was I? I guess I was 20, 21. This was actually when I was a trainer for MAC Cosmetics. And I used to do my brows really strong and like angular and real structured and just did not compliment my face. But that's what I did. And I remember my boss one time sitting me down and saying, hey, let me do a brow makeover on you. And she was really sweet, of course, at the time. Now I look back and I'm like, oh, she was totally like trying to tell me my brows were bad, but in a very sweet and loving way, which I appreciated. But she did sit me down and like showed me how to just still get definition and fill my brows in, but in a way that complimented my face more. Okay, that's really nice. Okay, I'm gonna keep the lower lash line kind of light. I actually wanna play with that cream shadow stick. So this is the shade Sunset Bronze, and it's a beautiful shade. I have it here still in my hand. Actually, this has been on for a while. So it's moving a little bit. It's still workable. It really stays in place, but when I put a lot of pressure, I do get it to move some. So that tells you a little bit about the texture of it. It's gonna be long wearing unless you're really like smudging your eyes. It's gonna stay on your eyes, but I think it'll remove easily when you want to take it off at night. I'm gonna just run this all the way from the outer corner and I'm gonna go all the way to the inner corner. I usually don't do that with my eyeliner, but because this shade is pretty soft, it's not dark, it's not harsh, it's just gonna give me some subtle definition, I'm gonna do it. Okay, this texture is nice. It feels creamy, it's very soft, it's very comfortable, it glides on really nicely. It's a very soft color though, so I had to layer it a few times to kind of get this payoff, which is good. You have got some versatility and some flexibility, which I like. I'm just gonna take a clean brush, this has nothing on it, and we're just gonna run it back and forth on the edge, just to kind of, what this is doing is softening it a little bit. It didn't really need to be softened, but the other thing that it's gonna do is remove any excess product. It's gonna take that excess product off of the skin onto the brush, which is going to make sure that my makeup looks good in 6 hours and it's not running down my face. Okay, let's get to mascara. This part I'm really excited about. We're gonna do lash primer and mascara. I've got the Cosmic mascara. We're gonna use this one today. You know what, we're gonna use them both. We'll do one on one eye, one on the other so we can test them. But I wanna share my story about the Cosmic. Oh, and I even have an Eclipse Volumizing Curling Mascara. I think this does have caffeine. I feel myself being a little extra chatty. This is the Prep Star Lash Primer. Let's give this a go. Ooh, I like the brush. Look at that. I like this brush. It has tiny little teeth. There's not a whole lot of gunk on the handle, which means, well, let's see. Let's not make any assumptions. Let's see. But usually when you have wands like this that are cleaner, you don't get a lot of clumps or you don't get excess product applied to the lashes. I know I'm gonna do the Cosmic mascara. I wanna share that one with you. I've been using this for a couple years. I bought this a few years ago and I've used it off and on for a couple years. How I stumbled upon this one. There was a mascara, I think I might be wrong on the brand, but it was a growth mascara that was very expensive. I think it was like $80, but I really wanted it because everyone was talking about it. And someone told me that this was like just as effective mascara, but a fraction of that price. And it's really good. So I'm gonna start at the base of the lashes. I'm gonna wiggle it back and forth and then just pull up to coat each lash, find each lash. So this is very volumizing. You see a lot of volume on the lashes. You do get length, of course. I mean, with every mascara, I feel like you're gonna get length even if it's a volumizing mascara. But the difference that I see in volumizing mascaras versus lengthening mascaras is that with volumizing, you see a lot more drama, a lot of volume at the base. Where lengthening mascaras, you just really see long, separated lashes that don't quite have that impact at the base. So on the other side, let's see which mascara do we want to use. We have the lengthening mascara, and then we have the volumizing and curling. Let's do the lengthening, because I feel like the lengthening is gonna have more of a difference in the appearance of it. So this is the lengthening mascara. This is what the wand looks like on this one. Let's go in. I can already tell, yes, so much softer lash, not as dramatic, much softer, feathery. You don't get a whole lot of volume, but you get some length. You get a softer looking lash. I prefer the Cosmic, I think. The Cosmic is my favorite. I like a lot of lash. Do you guys see the difference? I feel like you get the same length from the Cosmic though. Cosmic, I feel like you get length and volume, and this mascara, you really are gonna get a softer lash with just length. But I'm gonna use this one for the lower lashes because I like how soft and clean it is, meaning that it's not, you know, heavy at all. And on the lower lashes, that's the goal. Keep them very soft. You don't want them too heavy. Because I like how soft and clean it is, meaning that it's not, you know, heavy at all. And on the lower lashes, that's the goal. Keep them very soft. You don't want them too heavy. Let's see, what else do we have that we want to try? Is it already time for lips? How are we already at lips? I guess we are there. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this lipstick. This is the Double Booked lipstick, and the manager over at Blue Mercury yesterday was telling me this is one of their best-selling shades. They actually have it in a lip liner too. I regret not getting the lip liner, but I did get this gloss, so we're gonna top it with both. I'm gonna go ahead and blot my lips because I have this beautiful lip balm on, which by the way, this is really nice. I love this. Just a little hint of color, but feels amazing on the lips. I'm gonna remove it though, because I wanna see what this lipstick, how opaque it is. When you have a lip balm on first, it can often dilute and shear down any lipsticks, and I don't wanna do that. This is the color. It's just a pretty medium pink rosy shade. Okay, so that's one little swipe. Nice color. A little bit of a not translucent, but it's not super opaque. I'm gonna go and add another layer. Ah, yeah, there we go. You can really build it to get more color. It feels lightweight. It has a nice texture to the lips. It's not a real glossy, or doesn't feel like a super glossy or like balmy or a hydrating formula, but I do feel that hydration on the lips. And it might even be from that lip balm as prepping my lips. This color is nice though. Ooh, I like that. Pretty color. And then we're gonna go in with the gloss. This is the shade CEO. It's a little mini gloss. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, this consistency is nice. High shine, very glossy, not thick, lightweight. Okay, we are done. What do you think of the makeup? I really like it. All right, you guys, let's recap kind of the standout products. Let me separate the ones that I really, really loved here. So remember, everything now through September 12th, 40% off online. I will have a code for you. I actually have it here. Let me share it with you and then I'll put it on the screen. It's Lune LTK40. Lune LTK40. 40% off through LTK, online only through the 12th. I feel like I just want to repeat that so you guys know. And then the gift with purchase, there's two promos. When you spend $75 or more, you get the Dawn Till Dusk Gel Eyeliner in the shade Copper. When you spend $125 or more, you get the Real Glow Primer. So let's jump in and start with some of my favorites. I think I really, really loved the CC Cream. Not a full coverage product. I think that I would incorporate this into my makeup routine and use this as a first step, like a tinted SPF. Definitely gives more coverage than my normal SPF does, so I could wear it as a foundation like I have on today, but I see myself adding a little bit of foundation on top of it just to give a tiny bit more coverage. If you have dry skin, definitely give this a shot. Very beautiful, very hydrating. It feels great. It looks great for dry skin. Highly recommend for dry skin. I definitely want to recommend the Powder Finish Translucent Powder. I've used this for a couple of years. I really like it. Maybe not a couple of years. Maybe that's an exaggeration. I think I bought this last year, but I really like it. The brush is nice. The powder is nice. Really great for mature skin, lightweight, and very natural. It has like a natural radiant finish to it. Translucent is a good shade for all. Next up is this palette. Of the two, I really love this one. I think you just get a good mix of shades. You get 8 shades in here. You have a good variance of light to dark, shimmer, mattes. The shimmers are really pretty. They're not too frosty. This is just a really great neutral and great travel palette. So I'm gonna add this to it. And this is the Celestial Nudes, which comes in, I think this might be a limited edition because it says limited edition lip and eye makeup set. This is a great buy. This was $98, but again, you get 40% off of that, you guys. So it's 60 bucks and you get all of that, all those goodies that I shared, which includes this palette. And then the cream shadow stick in the shade Sunset Bronze, really pretty color. Really liked it. I used it on the lower lash line today. I will keep you guys posted as I use it more and can tell you about the wearability, but nice formula, feels great. The Cosmic Growth Mascara, yes, yes, yes. Love it. Good volume. It helps to assist growth of your lashes. I've used this, you know, like I said, on and off for a couple years, so recommend this one. Then I've got 2 more here to share with you guys. The brow pencil, Dawn to Dusk brow pencil and Universal. I'm definitely gonna grab one of these in the full size because it's good. It's real good. And then the Dawn Till Dusk gel eyeliner. I've used these, like I said, for a while now, so I already knew that I loved them. The shade Copper is really nice, a staple, go-to, nice chocolate rich brown. Oh, you know what? Let me add this lip gloss to the mix and this lip balm. Both of these are really, really nice. And they both actually come in that set, so you don't even need to purchase them separately. You could get them in that set. But if you wanted to shop them separately, this is the Girls Helping Girls, the lip balm, and then the shade CEO in the vitamin C E lip gloss. Well, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you had fun with me. I'm gonna have all the products, of course, linked with the shade names in the description box with all the details for the Lune Aster September party. And thank you for watching. And thank you, Blue Mercury, for partnering with me on this video. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.